Now, let us try to understand the meaning of conservation of quantity. A mother wants to divide an apple equally to her children. She cuts it into two halves. One half she cuts it into tiny pieces and gives it to one child. And to the other child, she cuts the other half into two big pieces and gives it. Now, we all know in such situations, children, when mother gives a snack, they will compare, you got more, I got less, they might fight. What happens is, mother has given equal quantities, right? However, one child has many tiny pieces. One child has many small pieces in its hand, and the other child has two big pieces. Does this mean they received different quantities? Did one receive more portion of the fruit and the other received less? No, right? One fruit is equally divided between the two children. However, the children might think, I got a big piece, so I received more quantity. The other child might think, I have more pieces, and hence I received more quantity. This is what is called conservation. Children are not yet aware of the concept of conservation, the concept of quantities being equal. Now, I will show how to demonstrate conservation of quantity. Let's take some TLMs. Children tend to think this quantity is greater and this is lesser. How can this be clarified? One-to-one correspondence can be done. Let us join one with the other, how we have done earlier. Let us place one from this group next to the one from the other group. Observe here, I am not matching a clip with a clip. I am generally matching different objects together. I am not matching similar objects. Instead, all these objects I consider as objects. When they are arranged in this manner, this group has more than the other group, right? What did the children think first? This group is greater, they thought, because this group appeared bigger. It took up more space. But they understood that this group has more quantity. Another aspect is we considered all these things as objects. We did not identify this as a clip. This group has one clip, the other group has more clips. That doesn't mean this group has more. Or the square counters are less in this group and more in the other group. That is not the concept. We are considering all these things as objects. This is called conservation of quantity. This one, the same concept can be revised again after learning counting and remind them so that the children can count and compare and see which is more, which is less. By counting the objects, they can count the objects. For example, earlier when we compared bats with balls and compared, even in that, how many objects are there? Totally, how many objects are there? When we ask this question, it is a part of conservation of quantity. After teaching children all these concepts, after comparing which group has more, how much more, mom gave me chocolates. She gave chocolates to brother also. But I feel my brother got more chocolates. How many did she give him? What should be done? Counting has to be learnt. How to do this? Let us see. Counting is taught through songs. Little children who are in first and second grades, we make them sing songs, action songs. They will learn through dancing, playing and singing. Like the one we used to sing as children. Every regional language has its own nursery rhymes for counting. Like we have in English, 1, 2, buckle my shoe, which have been in practice from a long time. The one important point to remember is children have to practice this very regularly to be able to tell numbers and digits in a sequence. That means the numbers from 1 to 9 in a series, 1 followed by 2 and 2 followed by 3, should be taught orally to them. Once they learn this well, once they get a good hold on it, later, in accordance with oral counting, how to count objects can be taught to them. They will learn this by regular practice. Now, we are very much aware of the methods of teaching oral counting. It has been taught very well by all the teachers from a long time. There is no need to stress on this any further. Instead of that, with the help of TLMs, along with oral counting, how to count objects, let us see. Usually, young children are taught numbers from 1 to 5 in the beginning. Later, 6, 7, 8, 9 is taught at a later stage. But you already know this, so I will start from 1 to 9 and recite orally. You can choose your method of convenience to teach in the classroom. Now, let us take some square counters and ask the children, you all know how to count, right? I will place square counters one by one here, and you have to count the numbers. And you have to tell me, okay? See, we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, you tell me which number did we stop at? 7, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We stopped at 7. This means there are 7 square counters here. How many are there? Very good. There are 7, okay? You started counting serially. You went on counting. And where did you stop? You have those many numbers here. Here are some yellow cubes. Will you help me count them? You have learned, right? Let's hear you count from 1 to 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Very good. How many are here? We have 9 yellow cubes. Very good. In the same manner, call the children, use the number line, and make them count. One boy can stand at one end and another girl can hold on the other end. Where should they start counting from? It is not necessary to start from here. If they like red beads, then here, the starting point, the place where they begin counting. Shall we start counting some of the beads? Let us count beads from this patch. Let us make some space to move the beads. Say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many do we have? 7 beads we have here. Now observe, from the starting point, start counting. We can start from here. You can also start counting from the other end. But you should not start counting from the middle. That will be wrong. So, they have to count from whichever side they have started and count serially.